Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of VCTV. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. Today, we're going to be talking about impact investing and social responsibility. Probably going to get a little bit into ESG, what that means, but also how is that changing the venture landscape? We've got all kinds of views and insights from great co-hosts from around the world who've joined us to share their thoughts as to what's all happening in this space as well. And before we introduce each and every one of them, a big thank you to the Token team, to Maria and Hasmik for making today's episode possible. If you haven't done so already, please do check out VCTV on thetoken.com to hear from today's speakers and all speakers of the VCTV family. With that, let's go ahead and kick it off. Flo, welcome back to the show. Just a little intro and background for everybody.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm glad to be back on the show. So my name is Flo. I'm a serial entrepreneur, investor, and visionary. I have a tech background, so I started as a developer, and then after the age of 27, I founded a couple of startup companies, and now I'm running my fifth and last startup, which is Neco. It's a currency for the common good. Our vision is to build a new financial system that serves the people and the planet, generate profits, provide universal basic income, and protect the planet. So this topic today, sustainability and social impact, is a hard topic for me. That's what I love doing. That's what I have focused my time and energy on. And I'm glad to be part of the show again.
Wonderful. Glad to have you as well. Keith, welcome back to the show. A little intro, a little background for everyone.
Hey, yeah, it's great to be back. The timing hasn't worked out so well this month to be on the show, but yeah, really glad to be here today. So hi, I'm Keith Gillard. I'm CEO of UpperStage Capital. We are an ESG impact-focused private equity firm. I come to that after 20 years in impact investing, mostly on the clean tech side of things in venture, initially with Mitsubishi Corporation, and then as president of BASF Venture Capital America, and then to two funds after that I raised and ran. But last year, I saw an opportunity for buyout into completely different class of companies. And we are now acquiring impact companies that are profitable, but under $5 million in profit each year. And we're accelerating those into international markets and growing them steeply. I'm going to talk about that today. It's a wonderfully exciting opportunity.
Wonderful, absolutely. And welcome as well, Matthew. It's a pleasure. A little intro, a little background for everybody. Oh, Matthew, I think we might have you on mute there. It sounds like it was a great introduction.
We'll give you a second unmuted. Hey guys, thanks for unmuting me. My name is Matt Nordgren, founder and CEO of Arcadian Capital. We are an asset management firm, and we focus on the plant wellness space. Most specifically, cannabis and hemp-related businesses. We have over 50 companies today and several funds, and in many countries as well: Africa, United States, Canada, Mexico, China, and hopefully soon India. And so this is a particularly fascinating topic to us because when you think about Mother Earth, everything we invest in comes from Mother Earth, and we're trying to bring those products to consumers. And so you really do feel a social responsibility to empower the environment, animal welfare within it, female empowerment, and minority lives. And I think the cannabis space in particular does that. So we're happy to be on this topic and on the show today. And I think that from an impact standpoint, the group of people here today hopefully makes some good sense of ESG.
Absolutely. Excited to talk more about that. We spoke yesterday on VCTV about psychedelics and the investments and opportunities in psychedelics. We also talked about a new organization called Mama Ventures that is investing in mothers amidst the pandemic and helping them get back on their feet, or investing in new businesses and services that they're providing throughout their homes as well. So very excited to add to that list, Matthew. And last but not least, Piyush, I'm so sorry. I knew we were going to do this, so that's totally my fault. Mr. Verma, we'll go with that. And I'll correct myself going forward. But welcome, a little intro, a little background.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. So I'm Piyush. I'm the founder and CEO of Manush Labs. We are an impact accelerator based in India, but operating globally. We have 25 startups in our portfolio right now, and we support these startups and at their early stage, and then help them grow and scale and become successful companies. So my thesis is right now around the Bharat entrepreneurs. So Bharat is basically more than 1 billion people living in the non-metros of India, which is a very rapidly growing region in the world. And because of the access to technology and cheap internet, a huge market has opened up in this part of the world. And so there have to be a lot of products and solutions that cater to these segment of society, and that's what we are focusing on right now. So there are a lot of opportunities in Bharat right now, and that's what we are trying to tap into. My background is in architecture, design, and product design and innovation. So I recently graduated from MIT, and the project before Manush Labs was called MIT Initiative, in which we brought a lot of social impact researchers from Harvard and MIT to India to work with early stage innovators, and then it kind of got converted into a larger project called Manush Labs, which is, as I said, is an impact accelerator. Yeah, so right now we are also in the process of designing our next accelerator, which is called Tech for Social Impact, focusing on early stage and impact startups from India. So thank you.
Very cool. Thank you as well, Piyush, and pleasure to have each and every one of you today. Keith, kick us off. Preview to us going live, we were talking in the green room about some of the things that you're seeing, and you've been investing in this industry for many years, as you spoke in your bio. But for any of our viewers, they go back and look in the archive of these CTV episodes with you. You can see how much you have in terms of knowledge around this industry. Kick us off. How do you feel as to where things are or where things are going around impact and social responsibility investing?
Yeah, well, it is an exciting time where there is more capital coming into impact than there ever has been. There is excitement from the LP community, and not just from the single family offices and groups that maybe were motivated by their own personal feelings and their mission of what they want to accomplish, but now into the large institutions, the multifamily offices, the very established managers, that they're seeing impact can be a lens through which they can view the world to find great opportunities that will produce superior financial returns, not just give them a nice warm feeling of having done something good. For years, for whether true or not, impact investing was associated with sacrificing returns for the effect of having done something good. But now we're seeing that the two can go hand in hand. However, along with all of that capital coming into impact, which is great, and a lot of good stuff is getting done with it, we're also seeing supply and demand do its usual thing. And with a large supply of capital, we are seeing that the pricing, the valuation on companies, and especially I'm thinking about those early stage pre-commercial companies, those valuations are going up, as now we're seeing competitive pressure to get into those deals where there's more money chasing the good opportunities than there are good opportunities. So valuations are going up. And my fear around that is that when we fast forward 10 years and we look back on the funds that have a 2021 inception date, the odds of having a venture collapse in those 10 years are very, very high. We haven't gone so long without a huge reset in valuations ever before as we have right now. So having a reset in that time is very likely. And my fear is that the investments being done right now and next year, I think, will also be a very high valuation year, are going to end up seeing very poor returns when measured 10 years from now, and that will see then a downturn in the capital coming into this space. So I really caution companies, don't get too greedy, don't have an expectation that valuations set today are going to hold forever. And I caution that investors should remain disciplined. Don't rush into those deals. Don't pay that extra money unless you can see a path to a high return for your investors. You're not being responsible to them.
Matt and Matthew, and I think we're sorry, Keith, I apologize. I think we're seeing this in many industries as well, that valuation reset. I mean, there's a lot of money moving in many different industries as well. But Matthew, I want to come to you. Anything to add on to Keith's point, or are you seeing anything similar in terms of that, frothiness and valuations, if you will?
Well, Keith has a great point. He's right. The bear market has to happen at some point. Markets are cyclical, longest bull run in history, partly because there was more money than ever sitting on the sideline going into the pandemic. And that was an indicator that money needed to move, and it did, combined with the governments being able to support the economies from their coffers. And you do have to expect some sort of market correction. It's inevitable of some nature, maybe not catastrophic, but it does have to. Same thing happens in emerging industries and in the cannabis and hemp space. Before you have regulations and institutional investors, because don't forget, markets represent a test of psychology. It's just a very sophisticated one, depending on the market you're trading on. And so when you don't have a lot of sophisticated players in the market, it's natural that in the early days, anything is taken advantage of. So that happened in the cannabis space. Multiples were high. You didn't have institutional investors. That has changed. The valuation reset here is simply because of the fact that investors came in that realized these assets are very well-performing assets, but they need to be valued properly. So what you have here is a properly valued industry today, when in the early days, agriculture business was trading at 100 times revenue. That's not sustainable. But the industry has grown 60% in revenue. So here's why this is an amazing impact strategy. Like we're doing in Mexico, like we're doing in Africa right now, cannabis in particular is the most valuable agriculture product I think I've ever seen. If you look at gold, cannabis, an average cannabis manufactured extracted product is actually worth more than gold per gram. And if you look at oil, a barrel of oil, I don't know, it's 30, 50 bucks. That same barrel of cannabis oil is worth 5 million. So here's what's amazing about impact. I think a lot of people talk about impact. We all want to impact, well, some of us more than others. But how do you really do it? You got to go back to the very root cause. And I think here's the crazy, amazing thing about these plants. In Mexico, we're going to be able to incentivize the small farmer in rural areas in Mexico that have absolutely no way to get to them. I mean, you're still using donkeys to get to a lot of these places. I've tried to, figure this out. And so now you can allow them to have a micro license to grow this product that when they get it produced is worth gold. You literally return the capital to the poorest farmers that need the help the most by letting them grow it in the ground. What an amazing concept. And then you have them use this for medicines and some of the byproduct they can use for themselves, and then make some of the proceeds then go towards building out power and water and things these communities need to thrive. And so you give them gold, mandate how they have to use it, how much they can grow, just a little bit, sell back into the system. And so we're seeing this in Africa now. We basically give the rights to small communities and poverty communities to grow gold. And so this is beautiful. Now we put it back in their hands. We cycle the system, just like the system that our friend was talking about happens in markets. You're seeing this, I think, happen in the world now. Felt sick for a little while, but impact is done at the very basic, fundamental level of human society. And we're just so thankful as an industry to be able to give something from this earth. It's day in the sun, if you will, and empowering the right people because of it. It's not top down.
Thank you, Matthew. Flo, any thoughts to add on to that, or what you're seeing as well? And then Piyush, I'm going to come to you next on this, but also more greater on the India perspective. But Flo, thoughts to add on?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on Matthew's speech about cannabis. Yeah, I think I don't know why I would want to have gold. I don't think that gold has a lot of value. Really, it's a thing that has been overvalued. It's not really used for much things, making maybe some jewelry and teeth and used in cell phones. But cannabis actually has value because it's a medicine and can cure a lot of diseases. So it makes total sense to me that it's priced at this level now. Yeah, in terms of what I believe, I think this pandemic is the start of a new age, a new era of health and sustainability. And the planet has shown us that we can't continue doing business the way we do right now. There's a lot of things that we have to change. So I think impact and social responsibility, these are two topics that will be, growing quickly over the next decade. There's problems we're facing like climate change and pollution that we can't wait any longer. We can't ignore anymore. So when these challenges become visible, and there are, then of course there will be more money pouring into this industry. So what we're seeing is a trend that I don't think will stop in the near time. I think it will go on over the next decades because there's a lot of things we have to do. Yeah, so I believe I'm a big believer in sustainability and social responsibility. So this is a space where I'm glad to be in. Also in this area, what we're seeing, I'm in the blockchain industry. We've just recently seen another bull market here. So investments into blockchain startups have quadrupled over the last quarters. So this is another trend that I see. New technologies coming in that support various industries from healthcare to sustainability to social responsibility. In our example, the crisis has generated a huge market for us. We are providing universal basic income unconditionally as part of our cryptocurrency, and I see that that's going to be a necessity as we see more and more countries and more people becoming really poor after the pandemic and the recession that's going to follow. We're not through the recession yet; it's just going to start. So I think these are spaces where you should really have a look at. Expect a lot of change. The business as usual is not going to continue after the pandemic. So there will be a lot of things differently. So invest into these industries where you believe in and where you see challenges for the future being solved and being addressed.
Agreed. Piyush, any thoughts to add on to this, but also talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing in India. I mean, you have this accelerator, but also you're based there looking at impact-based investing as well. And give us your thoughts as to what's happening on the ground. And then I'm going to come around for one more big question for everybody and we'll round out. But Piyush, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. So, talking about, the India situation. So pandemic has actually hit India worse than any other country right now. So the second wave of the pandemic was so disastrous that I personally know a lot of people who were either died or impacted severely through this second wave. So that we are seeing the repercussions of pandemic. So in terms of the impact investment side, over the last few years, what we have seen in India is a huge growth of consumers or customers in the small cities and villages of the country because of cheaper access to the internet. So now these people can access to can use products, tech products especially, that were primarily designed for the urban elite or people living in the larger cities, namely Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and some of these big cities, and a few other major cities were the primary target of the startups. But now, since the internet is accessible to people from across the country, they can use the product. So it has opened a big market, and that has actually created a whole bunch of entrepreneurs, impact entrepreneurs, that are now focusing on these people. So talking specifically about India, there's a very large impact opportunity right now, and a lot of big VC firms globally are now focusing on India. So if you see Y Combinator's recent cohort. They had the largest number of Indian startups this year. And also, of course, a lot of impact investors are now focusing on India just because of the sheer opportunities that we have here and the kind of growth that we are seeing. And that's what we are also trying to do through Manush Labs. So our focus is to bring these entrepreneurs, and kind of bring them towards progress and give them an opportunity where they can work with investors globally and raise funding from not just Indian investors but from people across the world. So we have focused on 25 startups from agri-tech and waste management sector in the first program, but we want to go sector agnostic, in the upcoming programs. So urban livability is a big issue in India right now that we are seeing. So, things like pollution and waste management is very big. And of course, topics like healthcare, we have seen, in the pandemic that healthcare is a big industry which needs support and which needs creative solutions. So that is also growing. Entrepreneurs are now focusing on that sector. And that is also what we want to do in the upcoming, months. And of course, climate is another big issue, not just in the developed countries, but also in the developing part of the world. Climate and clean tech is a key issue which is going to become very, very big in the coming years. That's why that is also one of our focus areas.
And I see Keith shaking his head. Keith, I'm going to come to you in just a moment. Matthew, quick closing thoughts in terms of where you see the future of impact and ESG investing going from here. And sorry, ESG, I mean social response or social impact investing. What's getting you excited, and where can everyone find you online to continue the conversation as well?
Thanks for the question. Arcadian Cap is our website, arcadiancap.com. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of successes. Our friends on the phone, on the panel today have had, and so we're actually, deploying a significant amount of capital right now. And we're looking for companies that are impacting the world. So definitely reach out to us. We hope to hear from you. In fact, our investments team emails, Arcadian and investments at arcadianfund.com. Send them in. I think the only thing I want to say is that I hope we come out of this pandemic and we don't forget about the soul that every human being has. I think don't ever discount an industry that services other human beings, and particularly from a commodity to consumer standpoint. We're big fans of electronic businesses and computer tech businesses. But I think what you're going to find long term is that human beings need each other, and they want to impact each other, and they want to do it in real life, in person. And so have an intention to live in the moment that you're in. It's the first lesson from God, frankly. If you look at Adam and Eve, the bite of the apple, free will, choice, you can only choose in the moment. Everything that ever happened in your life before this moment right now, and everything that will happen, only lives in your head, not reality. So effectuate change, create a ripple. You can only do that in reality, where you are, where the spirit lies, where other human beings have a spirit. Don't hide behind the walls that the pandemic put up for you. Break free from that and have some hope. Humanity wants more. It's not just, is it better or cheaper anymore? Is it more convenient? People want more. Is it better for other people? Is it better for the world? Is it better for my environment? And I think you're going to see that more than people think. I do not think the pandemic is going to keep everybody at home and machines are going to keep people behind their walls. We need to see a spirit. We need a soul. There's a greater purpose for being a human being. We're a timed experience, and it's a timeless being, as Deepak Chopra says. And so you're going to see that shine. Invest in businesses that empower human beings and that connect to human beings. Pay attention to that. It's a discount today that I think in the future people will realize this was a moment that impacted the world.
Yep. Thank you very much, Matthew. Flo, closing thoughts. Where can you be found online?
Yes. If you want to find me, just Google my name or go to LinkedIn. Flo Goette. Neco Finance is my company. So you find us at www.neco.finance. Closing thoughts. Yeah. As I said before, this space, the sustainability and social impact, is a space that has a lot of future, a lot of growth. And as Matthew said, it's not just about profit and computers and hardware. It's really about human beings. It's about our planet. The planet is our mother, and we need to take care of her better than in the past. We need to become stewards of the planet. And so it is an investment into something that's good for the future, good for your children. So I recommend the same as Matthew said. Invest into where you feel, where your values are, and don't just focus on profit. Money is fiction. The planet is real, humans are real, and I think that's something we have to learn, that there's one thing that's more important than money, that's our planet.
Yeah, thank you very much. Piyush, where can everyone find you in the Accelerator program if they're looking to apply and get started?
Yeah, so you can find us on manushlabs.co. At the bottom of the website, you'll see different links. So you can volunteer with us, you can partner with us. We are actively looking for investment partners who would like to invest in our startups. So if you have an India focus or impact focus primarily in the South Asian market, please reach out to us. We're looking for impact-based large VC firms to partner with. And of course, if you are a startup looking for support, we are there for you. So we have an email address on our website. Do reach out to us. And we are also very active on LinkedIn. But primarily, I spend most of my time on LinkedIn and not on any other social media platform. So you can find me there. So yeah, and impact investing has a bright future in India and the developing world. So I would really urge you to explore that. Thank you.
Thank you. Keith, closing thoughts. Where can you be found online? Saving the best for last. You've been wanting to comment. You've been wanting to comment on a few things. So this is your moment, my friend. We'll let you go.
I don't have any opinions on the matter at all. No. So you can find me on LinkedIn. Absolutely. UpperStage.capital is our website, and it is finally out of stealth mode. And Kyle, I know you've been wanting it to come out of stealth mode for a very long time. So yes, we have a website that's up there. For us, we view impact, ESG impact, through a little bit of a different lens. We have a kind of triangle through which we vision things, and for us, our dimensions are sustainability, wellness, and community. And we map out the various things that we look at, be it clean tech opportunities, prop tech opportunities, building materials, medical devices, fintech. All of these things fit within there, where we can see measurable impact. And because we're investing in commercial companies, the impact is real. It's not just potential that this could impact in 10 years. It could do this. No. The companies we're investing in, we can say right now, this is the CO2 impact of this. This are the number of jobs. This is how it's affecting disenfranchised communities. We can measure that because it is commercial. It is going out there and making an impact. Having said that, it's the potential that really excites us about these opportunities. For example, I'm buying a building materials company right now that has $10 million in sales last year, 34% growth. And that's great, but they've really only been focused on their local market. But they have products that save on the HVAC costs by 50%. Now, the CO2 impact of that is absolutely enormous, because buildings and CO2 is a huge impact on that. But that's 18% of all global CO2 emissions are associated with buildings, with up to, in some areas, 70% of that being HVAC energy costs. So this company has not marketed itself that way. It's been a 40-year-old company. They did, nice steady sales for a long time, and really just upticking right now. We're going to take that international. We're going to take that measurable impact right now. We're going to blow the roof off of it. We're extremely excited about that. Those are the kind of companies that we're looking for. And they are everywhere. It's not venture companies, and they're not mainstream PE companies. They're a whole different asset class in between that have been run as lifestyle businesses for years. without the vision or ambition to go after those big international markets and make the impact that they can. And I'm really excited to make that happen for them.
Wonderful. Thank you all very much for your thoughts and insights on this very important topic, as you all emphasized today as well. And to our audience, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you heard, make sure you like, click, and subscribe on today's episode as well. Make sure you share it furthermore on social media, and check out the archive on letoken.com to hear from today's speakers and all speakers of the VCTV family. Please do reach out to each and every one of our speakers, myself included. We'd love to hear from each of you, what you're building, what you're working on, but please do add context, where you heard us, where you met us, and what you would like to continue the conversation about as well. And Matthew, go ahead real quick.
One more thing, friends. Don't get so lost in trying to impact the world and thinking about all you're going to do and not live in the moment. You probably will impact the world and you'll build something great, but how about that server serving you your hamburger while you're thinking about changing the world? Impact that person. Impact everybody in front of you. All these things are great, and we're all going to be here to support you, and we're going to change the world in the future, but don't forget about the present. Impact those around you. Look at them like they matter. Look them in the eyes. Let them know you see their soul. Leave them with something special. Come out of this pandemic and make a difference in the life in front of you.
Thank you very much, Matthew. And again, thank you very much to the Token team, to Maria and Hasmek also for making today's episode possible. Everyone have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here for more VCTV in just a little bit. Take care, everyone.